for the Drew's News podcast, where we're serving you up all the news that you need. A little bit of pop culture, things that aren't on the top lines of things, a little bit of inspo, a whole lot of feel goods, the functions, and the findings. Today we're covering everything from a fashion fumble involving Chelsea Clinton and Oprah to the secrets of a long life from the oldest woman in the world. Oh my goodness, I want to hear that. I want to panic, spiral, and get inspired all at the same time.
Together, yeah.
I am here with comedian, actor Sam J.
Yay!
And your new movie, You People, which by the way has the most amazing cast, comes out on Netflix today. How did it feel working with Jonah Hill, Eddie Murphy? Every time the cab goes by with the poster, I'm like, now that's a cast.
Overwhelming. This is my first movie. So,
Really?
yeah, I've never done a movie before.
And you've been around a while.
I've been around a little bit, yeah. So this was my first, feature. So it was you step on the movie sets and it's just bigger. Everything's bigger and you're like, whoa. A lot of money was spent and you feel the pressure to step it up and perform. So it was overwhelming, but in the best kind of way, challenging in all the right ways.
I like that you said it makes you feel like you have to step it up and perform, because I'm struggling so badly. I can't even lie about it. I'm struggling right now. I feel like a total fraud. I'm so sorry. I'm spiraling. I feel off physically today. I feel off emotionally. And even if I put that out there, then I can proceed because at least I'm honest about it. I even said something, some person was like, did you see that? I was like, and I didn't see it. I never say like that. I don't know who I am today. I'm like Linda Blair in The Exorcist, but inward. I just am having a hard day. How's your day?
It's all right. I had a rough day yesterday, so I feel you. I was going through it yesterday.
Did you get over it?
Oh, man, I had to be honest about it. And I had to be yeah, this is wild, but I'm going to try to push through. A friend of mine went missing, and it was a lot.
Oh, my God.
It was a spectacle of a thing.
Well, that sounds like real problems.
And then I had to, try to shake it off and, go do some stuff. And I totally get it. And I'm okay. So,
Thank you.
I'm good.
Did they find your friend, though?
Yeah, we found him.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So I get it. I get being a little off. Don't worry about it.
Oh my God, I'm having one of the most surreal days of my life in a long time. I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm on the outside looking in or the inside looking out. It's a little bit of a surreal, bizarre feeling. I don't know what's wrong with me.
It happens, I think. I've definitely had that experience where it's you kind of just feel like you're moving, something's pushing you, but it's not you. And you're just kind of ugh.
Yes.
And then you feel untethered. It's
yes.
I need to.
Yes, I feel untethered.
Yeah.
A little weird and druggy and surreal, even though I'm not on drugs at all.
Yeah.
Thank you is your day better since yesterday?
Yes. Good. I feel a lot better.
Well, I'm going to call you tomorrow and tell you how great my day is and how much better it is than today, because it's going to start getting better right now.
I look forward to that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now I feel so happy to proceed because I'm not bullshit anybody.
That's what's up.
I will say that always when I read the news, it always makes me feel better, because there's always something weird and cool and interesting. And it's the segment that pulls me up and out the most. So thank you for doing this. And I'm so happy that we're tackling this subject and not something else, because the news really does lift me up.
It can.
It can. This is the different news. This is that B side of news. News you can use.
And news that we need more of, I think.
I do a PBS, nightly news, a CNN.
Whoa, you're
CBS
newsing.
Yes, I'm a newsie. And it's why I want this news all the more, because we have to have the antidote, because there are good things happening and weird, cool findings. And so there's this magazine called The Week, and it just has a tiny paragraph called It Wasn't All Bad. And this segment is completely inspired by that. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Now it's going to be amazing, because I can be real. I hate being a faker.
And it doesn't work either. You know what I mean? You end up just feeling off and weird and fraudulent, and you're this isn't servicing anybody.
No, I want to be myself and a human and real.
100%.
All right. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah.
Thanks, Sam. All right. Should we hit some headlines?
Let's do it. I'm with it.
Perfect. First up, happy 100. Wait, no. Oh my God, I did read that right. Oh my gosh. Happy 115th birthday
Crazy.
to Maria Morea. She just became the world's oldest living person. Maria says her secrets to a long life are order, tranquility, good connections with family and friends and nature, emotional stability, having no regrets, lots of positivity, and staying away from toxic people. Holy cow. Sam, you just celebrated a birthday. Thoughts from this amazing, beautiful woman's wisdom.
I mean, 115 that's a long life, man.
I thought I was reading it wrong.
That's a long life. It's like, that's a weird thing too, because it's like, I don't know that I would want to live that long. 115?
I would.
You would?
I would, yeah.
115?
Yeah, because my kids and...
Oh, okay.
And then,
that makes sense.
And my daughter said this morning, because they had some brownies last night and they wanted one for breakfast. And I was like, I'll be cool. They were tiny squares. I was like, sure. And then I made them eggs and then a little Nutella toast. And I said, God, I shouldn't have allowed you to have a little piece of brownie because you're having a piece of Nutella toast. That's like too much of a good thing. Mm-hmm. And Frankie grabbed her little brownie square and she goes, will I live longer if I don't eat it? And I go, yes. And she handed it back to me.
Really?
Yeah. And then I turned around and bit my fist like the woman in Airplane, thinking how many things I've done to cut my life shorter.
I get, like, kids. Yeah, I have a cat. I think I would want to live as long as my cat. Like, I would.
Well, that's not long enough.
That's my kid. My cat is my kid.
I know, but they only live like 20 years max.
I'm cool with that.
No, Sam, that's not enough time. You have to live longer. We need you longer. Selfishly,
all
no.
All right, I'll stay. No, I mean, I think it's like, one of the things I do think is real, though, is like that elimination of like toxic people and like your energy. I think that's so important. It's high up on the list of any type of longevity, kind of in anything you do. Is just like protecting yourself and protecting your energy.
Did you always know that, or did you have to learn it?
I had to learn that for sure. That's like a more, I think, late 20s, early 30s revelation.
I agree with that time assessment. And I grew up so fast and worked since I was a baby, and I always think my timelines are a bit off. But that is, I think, in not sort of how you grow up or where or the way you grow up. It's like that time invested in the world and being on this planet seems to be similar for a lot of people. 20s, 30s, you kind of go, you know what?
Yeah. It's where you start to turn some corners.
Yeah.
I think you really start to think about what kind of life you want. I think through your 20s, you're just like, doing stuff.
Oh my God, I was such an idiot in my 20s.
Yeah, you have no real clear idea of like what kind of person you want to be.
I just wanted to have fun too. I wanted to work hard and play hard. I wanted to burn that candle at both ends and have the best time doing it.
Did you?
Yes.
That's awesome. That's important too.
But then I got into my 30s and everything, late 20s, early 30s, everything changed. I started working with the UN. I started thinking about having kids. I was single for a while. I kind of cooled out, rethought my job and my life. And then by, I would say around 34, like everything had changed. But,
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
And I feel like I was ready to get my life together. And then it fell apart horrendously. But I picked it back up.
But you're ready to pick it back up. I think you learned from those old lessons. And it is going to fall apart again. You know, like it'll keep building and crumbling and building and crumbling. But the older you get, the more you're like, I know how to clean this up. This is not the end of the world.
You recognize it faster and you have a better set of tools. And life is a roller coaster and it has highs and lows.
Yep.
And the dips, are surprising that they can be so big at times because you're like, wait, I'm older. I should have learned. I didn't see this coming. I didn't think this would take me down so far.
Yes. That's what's crazy to me is like you get to these places and you think like, yo, I beat this thing.
Yes.
And like, I've got this. And then it like shows its face in this like other way. And you're like, whoa, like I am like completely rocked right now in a way that I didn't think was like possible anymore. You know, like my grandma passed away recently.
I'm so sorry,
and
Sam.
I was like really destroyed by it in a way that I didn't expect because my mom passed away when I was young. And when I went through that, and it took me years to kind of find my way out of what that was, losing your mother at 16, you know? But when I did, I was like, okay, I get this. I understand myself, my relationship with death. Like, if death presents itself to me again, I'm gonna be like, okay. And then I was like, I am so not okay. And I didn't expect to feel it, but then I just had to let myself feel it. You know what I mean? I was like, stop trying to like manage this and just let yourself have these feelings, and you will get to the other side, which I learned from my mother. It was like, you have the tools, though, to bring yourself to the other side of whatever this feeling is. And I think that's the real takeaway that we take from all these experiences are those tools, like you said.
I'm so sorry about your grandmother. And was she like a mother figure to you?
Yeah.
So it was like going through that all over again?
In a way I didn't expect. And also, weirdly, I felt like the last connection I had to my mom was gone. It was like, this is the person who can tell me like stories. This is the person who really knew her. This is the person I can tap as a resource of that. And it was like, oh, now this resource is gone. And it kind of felt like being orphaned again a little bit. It was like, whoa, this kind of feels crazy. It was weird. And my brothers all felt the same way. Like, we finally had to talk about it. And they were like, yo, I didn't think it was going to mess with me as much as it did either. And I was like, yeah, I just thought, I don't know. I don't know why I would think that, but I did. The arrogance of people, you know what I mean? Thank you.
I'm so honored to have that conversation with you. And it's like, I know we talk about news and fun stuff, and, you know, who knows, the next story coming could be like about a pigeon pooping, you know, on some woman's head, and she's suing the landlord. Like, I don't even know what's next. But that's a big part of why I love comedy, is because when it all gets big and heavy, like the sigh of relief to lighten up and laugh or really shift my energy. Laughter and tears are like twins. They kind of look alike and sound alike and function alike. And I like the duality and the sort of pendulum that swings so wide and far with both. But thank you for talking to me about that, because I really appreciate that you can think that you have dealt with things, and then it can come back at another point in a different form at another time in life, and you will have to reprocess all over again. And yet what I'm going to take away also from what you shared is that in the end, you told yourself, I've gotten through things before, and I will get through things again. And it comes back around, as you said.
Yes.
And that is something to never lose sight of, like the true love life raft, you know? And you hang in there, kitty. And it's like, you got through this, you will get through it again. That is not only hopeful, but it's very pragmatic, because you have your own truth to fall back on. Which, ironically, my therapist talks about part X, and when it works negatively, it usually works from the truth. So you don't know how to decipher it. But that's the positive version, and I'm into that. All right. Well, here we go with the next story, Sam, if you're ready. Let's see where this one takes us. Next, in fashion fumble news, Chelsea Clinton recently shared that in her dash out the door, she accidentally put on two very different pair of black heels, one with a pointed toe and one with a peep toe. Chelsea hoped no one would notice, but of course, the one and only Oprah Winfrey did. Oprah laughed and said she thought it was a new fashion trend before Chelsea explained that it was unintentional. Sam, thoughts?
I've done something like that. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. It's not.
It happens to the best of us.
It happens to the best of us. Like, I've definitely done some silly stuff, like getting dressed with my clothes. I think the biggest one, you think you have on like black, and then you get out and realize it's like navy blue, and you're like, oh, I'm ruined. I think that's like one that everyone kind of has done at some point. But I've done some stuff. put on my underwear backwards
Ooh.
and not realize it till I like go to use the bathroom in public, and I'm like, my underwear on backwards.
Do you wear big girl underwear? Like I wear big girl underwear, like as in like the underwear themselves are a big girl. They're big. They're hefty. They're girthy. They're like you could use it as a parachute in an emergency.
All the time?
Yes, pretty much. And I'll try to wear like a hipster or like a skim, which occasionally I will wear. And today I've been picking out my underwear all day from places I did not expect for them to be in. And I'm like, this is why I wear my big girl underwear. And when I say big girl, I'm picturing like full-blown granny panty. Like the sides are at least 6 inches long.
Like you could put a baby in it and the baby could swing.
It's a total baby diaper, like safety pin the side sitch.
Cool. I'm not mad at that.
Okay.
I'm not mad at it. I'm a boy shorts person myself.
Oh,
I like a good boy short.
And because they don't crawl up into, nefarious crevices that you don't want anything in.
Yeah. I can't go back to those type of like trying to be cute panties. Like when I was trying to be cute, those are panties. I can't go back to panties. I need draws.
Sam, I'm never going to say it differently. I'm done with panties. It's all about drawers.
Yeah, you need draws.
Draws. All right, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. And we are back. I'm here with Sam J. Okay, up next, a music lover named Fatima recently went viral on TikTok for getting a QR code tattoo of her favorite Spotify playlist. Why, you ask? So she could show the code to any DJ and they could scan it and she could dance all night long to all her favorite songs. Okay.
You love this idea.
I mean, I don't hate it because I am the girl who used to be like mixtape, then it became the iPod, now it's all in the iPhone. And I have a lot of playlists, and I do put a lot of playlists on Spotify, and I'm a big playlist like junkie. So I kind of really get where she's going. And if she could put like 150 songs on there, everywhere you go, boom, Insta party.
I feel like DJs hate requests though.
Oh.
They don't like requests. You know what I mean? Like every DJ I know, they get annoyed with requests, but then and now you're requesting a whole playlist? That seems a little obnoxious.
You know what? You're totally right. Yes, you're absolutely right. What DJ is going to roll over
and just play your playlist?
Yes, no, this is impossible.
I didn't think it was a good plan.
No, this plan is full of holes and flaws. And by the way, I would say then just play it at a friend's house or at your home, but you don't need a QR code for that.
No.
You need a plug.
Exactly.
Oh my God, Sam, you really broke this down in a way that made me think from good idea to absolutely not good idea. And I also remember my last encounter with a DJ. It was my daughter's 10th birthday, and I've never had a DJ. They worked at the venue. I was like, oh, it's double digits. We've only ever thrown a party in our apartment or at our Auntie Jill's house. Like, that's it. Like,
so this was like a big girl party.
This was, a first double digit. It was, a lovely little moment. But the place had a DJ, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Okay. But the first 10 minutes of the party, I started spiraling because it was really hardcore, like how do I even put this? The music felt dirty. Like it was like hardcore. Like it did not feel 10-year-old's birthday.
It wasn't like Kids Bop.
Oh, no. It was like inappropriate.
DJ went off.
Yeah, and I was like, I am so sorry to ask this, but I'm starting to feel really uncomfortable with parents. Like I've invited them into like an inappropriate party. Would it be okay to like play like, I don't know, like Harry Styles? And I could tell this guy wanted to kill me. Like he was
I need to know what
really
he was playing.
Pissed off. And it was, you're right, DJs don't want to be told what to do. It was like very grinding, like I feel like there might have been some inappropriate words.
Okay, like Pretty Ricky type stuff.
It was like I felt very vulnerable in front of all the parents. Like welcome to this very inappropriate birthday party. And the second the music changed, the feeling went away.
Yeah, I mean, you were correct. You shouldn't be playing grinding, like Pretty Ricky style songs at a 10-year-old's party.
I was like, I'm so sorry, sir, but could we just take it down a notch? And I don't know, Harry Styles, Taylor Swift, like,
which is still like
the coolest.
Right, cool. Like,
I
that's
could
not
tell
a bad
probably
look.
would have like literally killed me if I said Kids Bop. I wouldn't even dare. Like, I'm over Kids Bop. I get it. Like, but everything changed the second this like very hardcore, like the only thing you wanted to do was wrap your legs around something and start like grinding. That's what the soundtrack of life was. So yeah, you're right. DJs don't want to be told their business because that's their business is DJing.
Yeah, that's what they do. It's like their art.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, you're right about this story, and it is wrong. Okay, moving on. Trevor Noah, the greatest man ever, recently left The Daily Show and compared the grind of making a daily show to planning a wedding, but without the honeymoon. Comedians like Leslie Jones, Wanda Sykes, Sarah Silverman, and Chelsea Handler are all slated to guest host. Sam, you wrote on Saturday Night Live for 4 seasons. What do you think about the roster of, first of all, I just want to say women that they're bringing in.
Yeah.
Because there's no women in late night.
Yeah, no, I think it's cool. I think
Except
it's
for
dope.
Amber Ruffin.
I like that they're mixing it up, one. I think that's fun, that they're just like letting us see different hosts every week. It's such a different approach to a thing where they usually just like anchor it with one person. So it's just been fun watching different people's takes on things and what they have to say. And it's just always dope when you see more diversity in a space to me. You know what I mean? Like, of all kinds. It's like the more you see that, then the better off we are. It feels like a push in the right direction.
I'm very excited for it. I'm really glad to hear you say that. I trust you, and through talking to you, like, I feel like I just want to do what Sam says. I do. I really like have come to implicitly trust your gut instincts on things.
There's some good diversity happening in late night, man. There's Amber's show, there's Z-Way show.
By the way, I love Z-Way, and I've done her show, and I panicked afterwards because I was like, oh God, what did I just say? Because you want to like show up, and I love Z-Way. And then Z-Way came here. She's been here a few times. Love her.
Yeah, she's great at it. There's my show, there's Pause.
Yep.
So there's some stuff going on in late night.
Yeah.
It's an exciting little space right now.
You're absolutely right. And I'm really glad to see women come up because, honestly, a year or 2 or 3 ago, there were almost no women in late night.
Yeah.
And that just didn't feel right to me. It didn't feel like reading the room, and it didn't feel like there was an offering to choose.
And also now there's so much diversity in the style. Like, I think about like Amber's show, and I'm like, that's one way, and now you have Z-Way who's approaching it another way. Then you have my show, which approaches it a whole another way. And so you're also getting like all these different looks of late night. When I feel like before it was always just like, here's a desk, here's one person, and they're going to talk at you. Now I think we're starting to have more whole conversations and finding a lot of ways into these different conversations.
Who was an inspiration for you starting your show?
Oh, man. Chris Rock show on HBO.
Best.
Arsenio.
I got to do an Arsenio show. I think I was on, I don't know, at least once or twice, but I loved it. And I thought it was like just the coolest place to be. And I was so
That's
glad.
what I loved about it.
Yeah, it felt like a younger, cooler party.
Yeah.
It was like there was nothing like it.
Yeah.
I mean.
And it was the conversations were like laxed in a way that I hadn't seen late night be. It was like, we're really kicking it.
He was a very good interviewer, too, as far as he had a very honest, disarming quality. He kept it really real. You knew he could bust into funny at any moment. So there was always that levity in the air, which is what I think comedians do and create a safe space. But he also explored depth and, had hard conversations. And I was just such an uber fan of his. I was so thrilled that he would have me on his show. And we talked about some deep stuff together. And then as a viewer, I loved watching, one of the things that I also enjoy is not knowing exactly what I'm going to get. And I feel like Oprah's show was always like that. Is today going to be in-depth, meaningful, poignant, and life-changing? Or is it going to be entertainment? Or is it going to be something like homespun and domestic and like life-improving? We need to be kept on our toes because life does that. We have many different interests, many different subjects, many different things we're tackling. I want heavy, I want light, I want everything in between. So the diversity of hosts, the diversity of subjects and tones is so important.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that in a really cool way.
Well, I cannot wait to like watch what The Daily Show evolves into in this chapter. It always has taken me a minute, like John Oliver and Trevor Noah, like, you know, from Jon Stewart, all transitions. But is there anyone I love more than Jon Stewart, John Oliver, and Trevor Noah? I don't know. Like, those three dudes are so legendary. So it reminds me also to like give it a minute and settle in, because you may just be watching like your new favorite person.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Sam, you brought us the last story. Tell us everything.
Yes. I wanted to talk about Shannon Sharpe today, actually. So Shannon Sharpe had a altercation at a Lakers-Grizzlies game, and he got into it with some of the players on the floor while he was a spectator. There was some yelling back and forth. The referees had to come out. It was a big thing. He was arguing with the players. They had to break it up.
And he was a guest.
A guest at the game.
An audience member.
Yes. And then today, he apologized on his show. He apologized for his behavior. He apologized to the fans. He apologized to the Grizzlies. He apologized to the Lakers. He apologized to LeBron personally, because he was like, you know, you've been my friend and you've always stood up for me. And I'm sorry you had to stand up for me in a moment like this. And I just thought it was so cool. I thought it was just so cool that a person in the spotlight who could easily act like he wasn't the problem or keep arguing his stance or use his show as a platform to defend himself. He just took a moment to say, like, publicly, yo, I messed up. And I think it was dope because people mess up. That's what actually happens in real life. And we need spaces and the ability to say sorry. And for him to just stand and do that in such a big way, I was like, wow, what an example of like how to do it correctly. Because you're never going to do something wrong. These hugs are good, by the way.
I really need them. And I feel so compelled. I can't hold back for anything. I just want to get in there and hug you because you make such important points. I don't know why we don't either make it more safe and welcoming for people to apologize or to have some self-introspection. I hate that also an understanding of a self-awareness or a revelation also has to come with an apology that means shame. I've done something really wrong. Like, I know because I have had moments where I've, you really have to come out and apologize for your behavior, And I think it can distract also from the real thing, which is nobody is perfect. We hold people in politics or power or in the spotlight or any human being now on social media to a standard that is almost impossible to live up to. And when they don't, it's aha. And if anybody has to learn a lesson or do it in front of people, which I've been in those shoes, where you learn hard stuff right in front of everybody, now everybody is having that life experience. I kind of never expected that we would all be in this together. And my empathy and respect is just, it's so there, because that is also, all actions aside, in a moment, modeling for every person on the planet to be able to change their mind, have some recognition, change their stance, share the other side of it. Okay, this is the aftermath. I love that story so much, and I hope it can open doors for people to feel compelled to say, hey, this is how I'm feeling about this experience now, because we've not made it comfortable for people, and therefore they are doubling down on the wrong.
Yeah, and they're also afraid. Nothing works when it becomes like fear-mongering. They're afraid of what they're going to lose. They're afraid they're going to lose their job, their livelihood, or whatever.
Well, and we threaten that they will lose everything. You will be canceled.
So it's like, well, now I'm just not going to even say I did anything wrong. No, I didn't. It's like it makes you kind of force that stronghold in a way that I don't think helps anybody. You know, nobody's growing in that type of situation.
Nobody's growing. We have to start like really championing people, saying, I've had a mea culpa. I've had a revelation. I remember in politics, if someone changed their minds, they were accused of being a flip-flopper. And that was a bad thing. It's like, are you serious? We are not born with a set of values, and that value system stays exactly the same until the day we die at hopefully 115 years old.
Right, no, exactly.
Like you are going to change and grow and have incredible introspection.
And we should want that and encourage that.
Yes.
Because that's what makes people whole.
Well, screw all the other stories, Sam. Yours is better, and I totally agree. No Spotify playlist on your arm, unless it makes you happy, and in which case, then absolutely go for it. More diversity and women and incredible, options and opportunity in late night, and being absolutely cheering on and giving space to people who want to grow and learn and change right in front of everybody, because it's kind of what we're all doing.
Yep. Yeah.
And I don't remember what the first story was.
We fixed America.
It was that woman. May we all live a long life and not do everything we can to sabotage it along the way.
Or live a little bit longer than your cat.
You know what you need? 9 lives. Sam J needs 9 lives. That probably will measure out to around 115. Sam, thank you so much for doing this today. Can we do more together?
Yeah, it was fun.
It's really nice to get to know you, keep it real, love, laugh, think, hug.
Good hugs.
Talk about deep stuff and cats.
Cats. Important.
Yeah, cats are important.
Yeah, I'm really into my cat. Shout out to Fancy.
Fancy?
Yeah.
How old is Fancy?
4.
Okay, got a lot of years left. And fluffy, domestic, what type of cat?
Persian.
Oh,
white
Persian. Hence the name.
Yeah.
Oh, a white
the fancy
Persian.
feast cat.
Yes. Oh, you went that route. Interesting. I would like to see a picture one day. Maybe you can bring Fancy by the studio.
He lives up to his name. He lamps on things. He lounges very well.
I have 4 cats. So.
Do you?
Yep, I do.
See, you know what's up.
I'm the cat lady.
Yeah, you know what's up.
Sam, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And maybe, can I ask you, sometimes we say tell a friend or let somebody know about a podcast, share the word. What's a good way to share the word?
I think person to person, just talking to folks. I think we need to go back to talking to each other more and just really being interpersonal.
Well, the next time you have a conversation with someone, tell them about the podcast, because I will say, in all sincerity and no silliness, I would want to hear this podcast today because I want to listen to what you have to say. So
that was sweet. Thank you.
Do share this with someone so you can listen to Sam and want to hug her the way I so luckily got to hug her. That was a good 4 times. All right. Well, follow us wherever you get your podcasts. And if you like I said, tell a person IRL or who you're talking to all about Sam J, and be as happy as I am listening to her and sharing in her space. And watch The Drew Barrymore Show every weekday by going to thedrewbarrymoreshow.com and find your local time and channel. And as always, we make this show for you, so take it with you.
Yay. That was nice. Thank you so much.